Hollywood thrives on gossip, but sometimes the whispers turn into an earthquake that shakes the industry to its very core. That is exactly what happened the moment Lia Williams, an actress known for her sharp wit and fearlessness, sat down in front of the cameras and uttered two words that no one expected. "He's gay." She didn't say the name immediately, but the pause was deliberate. And then she continued, "I'm talking about Sam Heughan." The revelation exploded like a bomb. Within minutes, social media was ablaze. Headlines screamed across tabloids and digital platforms. Lia Williams outs Sam Heughan on live TV. Shockwaves in Hollywood. Heughan's secret finally exposed? Fans who had adored Sam for years, who had dreamed about him as the rugged, romantic Jamie Fraser in Outlander, found themselves stunned into silence. Was this truth, or was it another cruel fabrication in an industry notorious for rumors? The host of the interview was visibly stunned, trying to regain composure as Lia leaned back, her eyes calm, almost daring anyone to challenge her. "I've known him for years," she added. "He's hidden it because Hollywood wasn't ready. But the truth always finds its way." Those words ignited a firestorm. For a man who had built his career on playing one of television's most iconic romantic leads, a revelation like this threatened to unravel the fantasy millions had clung to. Fan communities fractured overnight. Some cried tears of joy, expressing overwhelming support for Sam, celebrating what they saw as a powerful moment of liberation. Others were angry, confused, or heartbroken, claiming they felt betrayed by the image they had long believed in. "Why hide it all these years?" asked one fan on Twitter. "Did he think we wouldn't accept him?" But there were also darker corners of the internet where the vitriol spread quickly. Anonymous accounts hurled accusations, twisting Lia's revelation into fuel for cruel jokes and conspiracy theories. Was this a publicity stunt? A smear campaign? Or was it the truth Sam had been too afraid to share himself? While Hollywood argued and speculated, Sam Heughan himself was nowhere to be found. Paparazzi staked out his Los Angeles home. Reporters camped outside his gym. Every friend, every co-star was hounded for a quote. Yet Sam remained silent, his absence only amplifying the chaos. Behind the scenes, insiders claimed he was devastated. "He didn't want it to come out like this," one anonymous source said. "If he was going to share his truth, he wanted to do it on his own terms." Lia ripped that choice away from him. The silence stretched for days, and with every hour that passed, the pressure mounted. Would Sam deny it? Would he confirm it? Or would he retreat into the shadows, letting the storm consume him? Hollywood insiders began weighing in. Some rallied behind him, praising Lia for her boldness, saying her words could free Sam from the chains of secrecy. Others accused her of betrayal. It wasn't her story to tell, a producer fumed. She's destroyed years of careful image management. Meanwhile, rumors from past years resurfaced. Grainy paparazzi photos of Sam with unnamed companions. Anonymous blind items on gossip blogs suddenly took on new meaning. The internet dug deep, piecing together fragments into a narrative that suggested maybe, just maybe, Lia's revelation was not only true but long overdue. The turning point came when Sam's publicist released a short, cryptic statement. "Mr. Heughan will be addressing the matter personally. Please respect his privacy until then." The world stopped. This was no denial, no deflection. This was a promise. Sam was going to speak. In that moment, the anticipation became unbearable. The man who had been admired as a symbol of rugged masculinity, who had held millions captive with his on-screen romances, was about to stand before the world and either confirm or shatter the revelation that had shaken Hollywood to its core. And so, with bated breath, the public waited for Sam Heughan to finally break his silence. The world had been holding its breath for days, and finally, the silence broke. Cameras flashed, reporters jostled for space, and a restless crowd gathered as Sam Heughan stepped into the spotlight. Dressed simply in a dark suit, he looked nothing like the fierce Highland warrior fans adored on screen. Instead, he looked vulnerable, tired, and deeply human. For a moment, he didn't speak. His eyes scanned the crowd, and the weight of expectation pressed down like 1,000 stones. Then, with a deep breath, he leaned into the microphone. "I never imagined my life would come to this moment," Sam began, his voice steady but thick with emotion. "For years, I have lived under the gaze of millions, fans who love me, critics who judge me, and an industry that has certain expectations of who I should be. But I am here tonight because I cannot let someone else's words define me. I have to speak for myself." The room was silent. Every journalist, every fan watching the livestream from around the globe, hung on his next words. "Yes," Sam finally said, his voice breaking slightly. "I am gay." The admission sent shockwaves through the room. Some gasped, others clapped spontaneously, while others simply wept. For Sam, it wasn't just a confession, it was liberation. "This isn't something I should ever have had to hide," he continued. "But Hollywood is not as free as it pretends to be. From the very beginning, I was told to play a role, not just on screen, but in life. They told me if the truth came out, my career would end. And so, I played along." Sam's honesty painted a devastating picture of the cost of fame. The secrecy, the lies, the public appearances carefully orchestrated to maintain an illusion. "Every smile I gave in interviews, every time I said, 'No, Katrina and I are just friends,' was true. But there was also more I wasn't allowed to say. I had to deny pieces of myself to survive." Among the crowd was Katrina Balfe herself. When Sam's words reached her, her eyes glistened with tears. Later, she released a statement. "Sam is one of the bravest men I know. His truth does not change the person he is, kind, loyal, and endlessly compassionate. I stand with him, always." But behind closed doors, whispers suggested that Katrina was struggling. Not because of Sam's sexuality, but because of how the world might twist their decade-long friendship. Some tabloids spun narratives that she had been part of the cover-up. Others speculated that their undeniable chemistry had been a smokescreen all along. The other women connected to Sam were pulled into the storm. Brynn Whitfield, who had recently been linked romantically with him, vanished from public view. Rumors claimed she felt humiliated, realizing that her name would forever be tied to a relationship that might never have been what it seemed. Lia Williams, the woman whose revelation had sparked the fire, gave another interview. "I didn't mean to hurt him," she insisted. "I thought I was helping. I thought the world was ready." But her words rang hollow. Many accused her of betrayal, of robbing Sam of his choice to come out on his own terms. The industry split in two. Some praised Sam as a trailblazer, applauding his bravery. Offers poured in for projects celebrating diversity and authenticity. Others, however, whispered doubts, worrying whether audiences could still accept him as a romantic lead. Would the illusion of Jamie Fraser, the ultimate lover, still hold when the man behind him had revealed a truth that clashed with fans' fantasies? Sam himself addressed those doubts head-on. "I am still an actor. I am still capable of love, passion, and romance, on screen and in life. The only thing that has changed is that now, you know the truth about who I am." Just when the crowd thought his speech was over, Sam paused. His gaze hardened, and his tone shifted. "But there is something else you need to know. For 10 years, I was told to hide, to lie, to play a part that wasn't mine. Do you really think that was my choice?" Gasps rippled through the room. Sam didn't name names, but his implication was clear. Powerful forces in Hollywood had silenced him, forcing him to bury his identity to protect box office numbers and brand deals. "There are people in this industry who profit from keeping others silent," he declared. "I won't protect them anymore." The weight of his words left the press scrambling, already preparing exposés about secret contracts, executives, and agents who had allegedly dictated Sam's life for years. Sam ended with a plea. Not just for himself, but for countless others. "If my truth helps even one person out there feel less alone, if it gives someone the courage to live openly, then all of this pain, all of this fear, will have been worth it. I am Sam Heughan. I am an actor. I am gay. And I am free." The crowd erupted. Some stood in ovation, others wept openly. The moment was historic, not just a personal confession, but a defiant act of resistance against a system that thrives on control. Yet even as the applause thundered, a lingering unease filled the air. Sam's cryptic hints about those who had silenced him raised far more questions than answers. Who had forced him into secrecy? What consequences would follow his defiance? And most importantly, what truths still remained untold? Hollywood was left shaken, uncertain, and bracing for the storm that Sam's words would unleash. And somewhere in the shadows, the people he had challenged were surely already plotting their next move.